you have been told all of this time is backwards. I know this because I was there. I was a single mum. I found myself in a very difficult family court situation. I lost my mum, unfortunately, to cancer at the same time as finding myself in that position as a single mum. I was in a very heavily toxic teaching career. I had in my head vision and passion for the families that I was supporting, but I wasn't being supported in the system. And the only way that I could do it the way that I wanted to do it, that felt aligned to me to help empower families, mums, teenagers, help people with their relationships, was to do it on my own. And to take that leap, to have a career transition at a time when I was raising my first baby, and as a single mum, constantly finding myself attracting utter tossers, not gonna lie. And it got to the point where I was doing really great stuff, and I kept questioning, why am I always attracting negative, toxic people towards me, whether that be romantically, relationships, friendships. And I kept feeling consistently judged and questioned, and there wasn't a system there that was supporting me either. I mentioned that I went through family court system. I thought that would be supportive. That ended up being an even bigger toxic playground for the people who were causing emotional distress for myself. It put me into £14,000 of debt, and I found myself in a corrupt game where I was actually being taken advantage of instead of helped. If you're hearing this message and you feel like this resonates with you, no matter what mindset work you do, no matter how positive you try to be, nothing will change or improve if you do not work on your emotional heart core, your belief system, which is both mind and body centered. Your body has possibly been storing years and years and years of trauma. I was bullied in secondary school. I had the constant message fed back to me from a young age that there was something wrong with me, the colour of my hair, redhead. If you're a redhead, you know what it's like. It was curly, so it was quiffy. You can just imagine the crap that I was given, constantly being told I wasn't good enough, I wasn't good enough, I wasn't good enough. And then in my relationships with family members, friends, loved ones, I wasn't unable to express myself, completely unable to say how it was that I was actually feeling. And you could have classed me as the classic people pleaser. Where did that end me? I ended up divorced after what felt like a 5-minute marriage. Even though we were in a long relationship for about 9 years, the marriage itself lasted about 5 minutes. And that took 6 months to completely break down. I was very young at the time. I didn't have much relationship experience. I didn't know what was going on. It was an absolute whirlwind. I've always sought possibilities. I've always known there was more passion in me to want to learn about the world and go see things. So I went traveling and I took a teaching job abroad. That was amazing. And I felt like, yes, I'm doing it. I'm getting over my divorce. I'm doing this for myself. I'm looking after myself in Asia as a young single white female. And I felt really strong. And then boom, I got a phone call. Best friend, a few years older than me, suddenly died. Boom, came back to the UK. I got another phone call. My mum was terminal with cancer. I was about to become a mum for the very first time without my own. And I thought, Jesus, honestly, I thought it was just one absolute train wreck after another. So you can imagine my nervous system was absolutely shot. And I remember walking into the GP. We all do the same thing. We go to the GP, they prescribe the things. After 10 minutes, not really knowing anything that I had been through or that I had suffered. Nothing about my inner core belief system. Didn't understand how impacted my nervous system was from too much happening all at once. But after 10 minutes, I walked away with a little white bag with things in them. And I remember sitting in the car park that day and I was looking at this bag of capsules and I thought, okay, maybe I need to accept the fact that I'm feeling depressed. They've diagnosed me as postnatally depressed. Well, no shit, just had a baby, just lost my mum. But was I postnatally depressed? I do believe that eventually it was discovered that I had post-traumatic stress because of the compact of everything happening, one thing after another. Now, nobody explained to me at the time that my nervous system was completely shot. I was suffering insomnia, I was suffering brain fog, I was having memory issues, I was severely suffering headaches. And the support that I got in my previous career was not very kind. In fact, I remember being pulled into a meeting, even after having got outstanding results from Ofsted and always having really happy children, excellent results and happy parents. Management thought a completely different thing. They saw a member of staff that had just joined the school, who had just had a baby, last in, first out situation. I was off sick because of what I was going through. And actually at the time, I was also on maternity leave, but I was told that I wasn't good enough and I wasn't going to be getting the pay that I was due, even having committed myself to that career for 13 years. That was the day that I decided, bollocks to it. I am capable. I know what I have within me to help support, inspire and empower and just care for other people. Care for them in a way that you only become a healer and able to create space and hold that space for people when you have yourself suffered and needed that same support. The amount of empathy and connection that you need to be able to hold that space, that is grown from the ground up through the soil of trauma. And this is why I love doing what I do. And this is why I love working with women who feel that there is something else within them that they really want to unleash into the world, that they're perhaps creating a brand new project or business for themselves. They too have been the sufferer of emotional violence, domestic violence, attracting toxicity towards them. And the biggest message that I have, if you are hearing this today, is of course you attracted them because you are beautiful. You are everything that other person needs. But that's not how we interpret those messages. That's not how our internal belief system takes on that feedback that we have in the external world. And one of the things that we work on in the first week together is really understanding and detaching from those external influences that we've perhaps had in our lives for a very long time, so that we can help ourselves overcome and break through those barriers.